So the kitchen is great. We talked about this last time, and if you have a problem that's keeping you up at night, no matter what kind of printing you're doing, whether it's screen printing or direct to garment or sublimation, you can get in touch with the Kitchen, and one of the people, the experts in the field, can help you out. So if you have a problem with sublimation, it's probably something that I've seen and I've done wrong in the past, and more than once. And in 30 years, eventually you get it right, or you go out of business. So if you have an issue, get a hold of Rick at the Kitchen and give you my info, and we'll be happy to help you out. So we're just going to keep this simple as far as sublimation. I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you a little about our company, and then we'll just do a little show and tell. If anybody has any questions, during the talk or after, we're happy to help you out. Don Ray Printing started in 1986. My father started the company doing sublimation. He actually was one of the people responsible for bringing sublimation in the country in the late 70s. And the first application for sublimation was actually for needlepoint. The needlepoint, we have 25, 30 different colors on the needlepoint map, and you take different color yarns, and they couldn't screen print it because it was too many different colors, and there was no really good solution for direct printing. And it was a polyester-based substrate, so sublimation made a lot of sense. So that was actually the first application, and then it morphed into garments and home textiles and a lot of other different products. Sublimation is just a way to decorate whatever you're decorating, a garment, a floor mat, a banner. It has to be a polyester material or a polyester-rich material. And we'll show you some samples on 100% poly, and then some 50-50 blends to show you the difference. But the way it works, sublimation, is we print on paper with inks, and inks carry sublimation dyes. And the definition of sublimation is just going from a solid crystal into a gas phase without turning into a liquid. So the ink is a liquid, but it's just a carrier for these solid dye crystals. So when it's put under heat, time, and pressure, usually 400 degrees for 40 seconds for digital paper and 20 seconds for offset paper, when the heat hits it and the pressure hits it for that time period, the dyes become active, turn into a gas, and at the same time the molecules or the polymers of the substrate, the shirt or whatever polyester material you're transferring onto, they open up, they accept the dyes, and the dyes become part of the molecular structure of the garment or whatever product you're transferring onto. So it actually becomes part of the shirt or whatever you're transferring, and so it's not topical like screen printing.
So you literally cannot. So if you when you get these samples and you feel it, you close your eyes, you will not be able to see where they're printed and where they are.
There's no feel at all, like a lot of the women I dated before I got married. No feelings at all. So that does separate it from other decorating processes, like direct to garment, because there is absolutely no hand. And also one of the things that separates it from screen printing and other processes, you're pretty much unlimited color-wise. You have any Photoshop file, any Illustrator file, you can pretty much print anything. And it does print nice solids as long as you do the process correctly. So it's graphically, it's a great process.
Also detail, right?
Yeah, I mean the detail is great. The vibrancy is great. It's a good process. Of course, it just goes on poly or man-made fibers, not natural fibers. Now people
just real quickly say how you print that paper that you sublimate.
Sure.
There's a couple of ways, right?
Yeah, there's two ways we print it. Most people in the sublimation game print digitally with inkjet digital printers. And that's good for if you're running 1 of something or 10 of something or 100 of something. Our company, Don Ray, was the crux of our company was always printing offset on regular offset presses. We have 40-inch 6-color presses and 54 by 77 large format offset presses for printing large floor mats, large banners, full bleed T-shirts, or anything that's bigger than 40 inches.
So all these floor mats, for example, printed with that.
Right. Now these are all one-off ones, so they're all done digitally. Which now, our business has changed dramatically because we started printing for manufacturers, for domestic manufacturers. So, if somebody needed, 10,000 of the same floor mat or 50,000 of the same Door of the Explorer, that's how far back the printing goes offset. But for kids sleepwear, then we go offset press. So it's just the same press that would print a banner, a poster, or a newspaper. It's just we use sublimation inks, and the separations are different. But the regular process is the same. It's regular offset paper with sublimation inks. So now with all the domestic manufacturing going elsewhere, we're doing less and less printing for manufacturers and more producing product. So we had to sort of switch gears midway. As a matter of fact, we'll do this quick because it's not really pertinent to sublimation, but 15 years ago, we were printing probably 500,000 sheets a week for Disney for different sleepwear. And then all that production went to China, probably 18 years ago. All that production went to China, but they couldn't match the color to Disney standards. So we were airing over 30, 40 pallets of paper a week to China. And it got ridiculous. I had one customer that spent $40,000 or $50,000 a week sending paper over to China from my New Jersey plant. So that, of course, had a shelf life. They were eventually going to figure out how to do it. And the business was there already, so it wasn't coming back. So my customers came to me and asked me to have a presence over in Asia somewhere. So we had to partner with an ink manufacturer I knew in Taiwan, and we would just do all the sampling and the color work in New Jersey, and we would print the production paper in Taiwan and just boat it across the sea to China. And really didn't want to do that, but we would have been out of business if we didn't. So it lasted for 4 or 5 years. That window let us get into producing finished products rather than printing for manufacturers. We still probably about 20-30% of our business is still printing paper for various manufacturers. Frank Ingram, do not yawn when I'm talking, okay? I let you come into the show, you just stay awake, okay? All right? I noticed you lost your friends on the couch too. You behave yourself.
That's what happens when you're fat.
Anyway, so you have any questions about what we've talked about so far? We just head right into samples.
Let's have show and tell.
All right, so we'll do a quick show and tell. We did have to get into doing products, like I said. So we get calls all the time for products that we have no idea how to produce, and when people call us, we say, we'll never lie. We won't say, we do that all the time. We'll say, never done it, give me a couple days, and we'll figure out how to produce it. And that's really the only way you can stay in business anymore. A couple weeks ago, I got a call for doing a do-rag. Now, some do-rags are just, bandanas that you tie around your head, but they wanted a real do-rag. It's actually for Mountain Dew, so it's literally a do-rag. Tried a couple patterns. We use probably 4 or 5 different sewers in the area, sewing factories, we'll pick the best one for whatever product we're trying to produce. So if you want to throw that on,
I thought you were going to model it.
No, I'm good. So stuff like that, again, sublimation is absolutely perfect for a product like that because again, there's no hand. It's a nice soft product. And the color is great, and it's so figure out how to sew it and sell it. That's really where we went. We do a ton of leggings, again on polyester. This is a poly spandex, like a 85-15 poly spandex. Again, the nice thing is graphically, it's great. So we actually this is for a company called Therese out of New York, a very nice company, very forward-thinking. Company and just nice people own it. So they do their sewing themselves. They'll send us the cup panels. We'll decorate the panels, send it to their sewer, and they will sew it after decoration.
Another advantage is it being in the fabric that normal screen printing or something would crack. This is going to stretch with the fabric.
Yes, it's got a little peek through, a little grin. But we actually, when we doing dark colors like that, we'll saturate the paper a little more with dye to try to alleviate some of that grin through. When you pull the spandex,